So one of my roles here in Oxford is I'm co-director of the Oxford Institute for Ethics, Law and Armed Conflict, ELAC. And what this institute does is that it brings together people working on issues to do with armed conflict from different perspectives. So we have lawyers, we have moral philosophers, we have international relations specialists working together. And what we're particularly interested in is, if you like, the normative side of the regulation of armed conflict. So how should armed conflict be regulated? How should the use of force be regulated? How ought things to happen in time of armed conflict? Now, the three disciplines that I mentioned, international law, moral philosophy, political science, are actually interested in pretty much the same things. It's this sort of ought question. How ought we to act with regard to war? How ought we to act with regard to armed conflict? Now, we bring our different disciplinary prisms or perspectives to looking at these questions, but it's really the same questions. And so, you just take the very simple question, should states go to war? That's something that international lawyers are interested in. It's something that moral philosophers are interested in. It's something that international relations people are interested in. What kind of behavior should states or other actors engage in when they're in an armed conflict? Law has something to say about that. Moral philosophers have thought about that for a while. International relations people concern themselves with those questions. One of the things that I think was particularly instructive to those of us who were involved in setting up the Institute is we wanted to see if there was a way in which we could think about all these questions along one sort of continuum. So you end up with a set of legal rules which are perhaps grounded in moral philosophy, or at least which have some sort of deep reflection on philosophical issues, and which take into account the political context in which, the political context of the world. So it's try to have some kind of cohesive view of these questions.